So I think that tonight, rather than doing the normal vlog, I think what I'm going to do is we're going to do a history lesson. Because who doesn't like to learn things? So Dollywood actually has been 4 separate theme parks. And it actually opened in 1961 as Rebel Railroad. If I don't say that slowly, it's going to come out with me just sounding like I'm just kind of speaking with gravel in my mouth. So Rebel Railroad opened in 1961 by the Robbins Brothers. The Robbins Brothers were from Blowing Rock, North Carolina, and they opened Tweetsie Railroad. And if that sounds familiar, that's because it's still open and it's still operating with the same business model, or actually close to the same business model as what it was founded on. The only thing that's really changed is that they have a Halloween festival, which is what they're really most famous for now. The Robbins Brothers, they opened Rebel Railroad in 1961 on the land where Dollywood now sits. And all it was at the time was a train, a general store, a saloon, and a blacksmith. And that's where people got to go for vacations. Now, on the train, though, you would get on the train and you would ride it around like you do now, the train at Dollywood. And Union soldiers and Indians would attack in unison together because they were in cahoots. And then Confederate soldiers would ride in, save the day, save the train, and rescue you all from that. And then you'd ride back. You'd ride back to the town. That's what you got to do. That's what fun you had at Rebel Railroad. This lasted for 5 years. Rebel Railroad lasted for 5 seasons until 1966. Whenever it was still owned and operated by the Robbins Brothers, and they changed it to Gold Rush Junction. Now, Gold Rush Junction was more like what they already had going on at Tweetsie. It was Old West, still same deal, but this time they cut out the Union soldiers. They were just like, yeah, whatever, we're going to cut this out, and instead we're just going to have the Indians attacking. And we're just going to make them look bad because that's what's on TV right now. That's what the kids are into. But this time around, what they did was the kids got deputized by the sheriff before they got on the train because they wanted to stop bandits. They wanted to stop the robberies. So they deputized small children and they let them have toy guns on the train. And they encouraged the kids to shoot anybody that they saw coming towards the train with these toy guns. So that's what they did. In 1970, though, Gold Rush Junction was purchased by Art Modell. I don't know sports, so I don't really know how to pronounce this guy's name. But by Art Modell, who owned the Cleveland Browns. Dude just decided he wanted to purchase Gold Rush Junction, so he did. And he ran Gold Rush Junction until the next people came in and purchased it. So then the Hershin Family Corporation came in and purchased Gold Rush Junction, renamed it Gold Rush. You know, the Hershin Corporation, they had plans. So they just renamed it Gold Rush just for the 76th season. And kept the theme and everything. But behind the scenes, they were changing a few things because for the next season, the 77 season, they were changing it to Silver Dollar City. So, a little bit of background on the Hershin Family Corporation. The Hershin Family Corporation was founded in 1950 in Branson, Missouri. And they were actually a family at the time. Now they're a big business, but at the time they were a family. They were founded in Branson, Missouri in 1950. In 1951, they got a 99-year lease on Marvel Cave. And Marvel Cave just started being just a roadside attraction. And then eventually it became Silver Dollar City in Branson. So they just kept adding more and more attractions to Marvel Cave until it became a theme park, basically, is what happened. So, like I said, 1977, Gold Rush Junction, Gold Rush, then reopened as Silver Dollar City, where they continued to operate it as such until 1986. Now, 1986 came along, and then Dolly Parton showed interest in building a theme park or operating a theme park in the Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg area. So the Hershey Corporation decided to strike a deal with Dolly Parton, and what they did was they just basically let her have the name, and they continue to operate it. They still operate it to this day. They actually operate all of Dolly Parton's properties in the Pigeon Forge area. But they operate Dixie Stampede, they operate Splash Country, they operate Dollywood. But in 1986, Dolly Parton entered into a partnership with the Hershey Corporation, opened Dollywood under her name. And yeah, I mean, and it's still open, with Dolly being basically the figurehead and the Hershey Corporation running things. So they kept some of the same rides, and actually some of the same rides still are there, and they still keep the same rides between Silver Dollar City, Branson, and what was formerly Silver Dollar City, Great Smoky Mountains. Like Blazing Fury. Blazing Fury is also out at Branson, but it's called Fire in the Hole. I like Blazing Fury better. There's the same ride, but I like the name better than Fire in the Hole. And Fire in the Hole just has a weird name to me. And then they usually get the same rides too. They usually get the same contractors to build the same rides. They ride about the same time. Dollywood has been getting a little bit better roller coasters lately. And I think that's just about the main difference. Now, around Dollywood's 25th anniversary in 2010, the rides and other attractions that were open in 1986 with the 1986 season, or prior to 1986 with either of the other three reiterations of Dollywood, did get plaques that said Dollywood Original, and they have a beautiful butterfly on them. It said Dollywood Original 1986. Basically making you think that Dollywood has been the only park to ever be there. These were the Dollywood Express, the Grist Mill, Aunt Granny's, the River Rampage, Blazing Fury, and the Tennessee Mountain Home, which is a replica of Dolly Parton's childhood home. Like I previously mentioned, Blazing Fury was one of the rides that was opened with Silver Dollar City. Now, another ride that was opened with Silver Dollar City that closed in 1997 was the Flooded Mine. Now, the Flooded Mine is still open out at Branson, but it closed out here. Rumor has it due to snakes. I believe that though, because we are in East Tennessee, and snakes are a thing. I mean, but if that's the case, I don't know why they opened up another water ride right in the same exact spot. My theory is Flooded Mine kind of sucked and they wanted to get a new one. Daredevil Falls is a little bit better. So that bear animatronic needs a little bit of work, because it's not really scaring me in that tent. It kind of makes noise some of the time. But, anyway, that's my theory, is that there were no snakes. It was kind of a terrible ride. You watch the video now, and they actually made it into a shooting game, kind of like Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger Spin, Buzz Lightyear's Astro Blasters, is what they've done to it out at Branson. If they would have done that update to it out at Dollywood, that probably would have been much more interesting. But that's what they've done to it at Branson. They've made it into a little game. But yeah, they're basically still almost the same theme park. They have the same Christmas festival. They have a lot of the same summer festival. It's very, very similar in many ways. Now, with respect to Rebel Railroad, a lot of that is still there. That whole stretch right there near the train, a lot of that is still Rebel Railroad. Rebel Railroad. I'm never going to get that right. A lot of that is still that one. The train is still the original train from Rebel Railroad. And the general store is still the same one. So they still kept that. And even the advertisement that you see on the parkway of the train is still the same advertisement that they used for Rebel Railroad back in the day. And so, I mean, Dollywood knows how to use its resources. They're never going to let those go. They have added things up there where the train is over the years, but they've kept the train the same, and they've extended the track a little bit. But other than that, everything has stayed the same with the train. I mean, it's just very interesting to see how far Dollywood has come since Rebel Railroad opened in 1961. See how far it's gotten, even since it just opened as Dollywood in 1986. So it's just nice to see how far it's going to go. I mean, it's home to the first wooden launch coaster in the United States, and I still haven't gotten to ride it because it's not really been open that much, but it is a thing and it does exist. I'm very much looking forward to getting to ride Lightning Rod. And it's just nice though that my mom has, that my parents have been able to make memories there as children. I was able to make memories there as a child, and that eventually I'll be able to make memories there with my own children. Hopefully it's not under a different theme park name. But, it's just really cool to see how it's evolved over time. But it's just interesting. I mean, was there anything I missed? Do you all know anything that I don't know about Dollywood? Anyway, give it a like, give it a subscribe, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.